Hey, paper lovers, it's Bess here from Lights Planner Action, and today I'm going to be showing you how to make a circular mandala using these dual tip grabby paint pens. I really love these paint pens. They make this project so easy. You can see how quickly it goes. Even though I have sped this up in 5 times speed, this whole project took me less than 30 minutes. So this is definitely a fun one to try out, but I am not going to explain what I'm doing because I think it's pretty obvious. I'm going in a circle with the dotted paint marker, and then I'm going in a bigger circle around that circle with a different paint marker, and then I'm going around and so on and so forth. It's very simple. I don't need to explain it to you. You are smart enough to figure this out. Instead, let's talk about something that is a little less simple, a little more complicated, and something that I've wanted to talk to you about ever since I mentioned it in my previous video about tariffs. So recently I released a video where I talked about how stationary businesses in particular were going to be impacted by the tariffs that are being added to Chinese imports. And in that video, I mentioned that paying with cash is one way that you can make a small impact every single day on these small businesses around you. And so today I want to talk about why that is, how that is, why I think it's beneficial for you, as well as address some of the hard times that will come along with paying with cash. Because by the way, paying with cash is not that easy. It's actually a lot more difficult, and that's the reason why most of us don't use it. So it does require a little bit of extra effort. It does require a little bit of intentionality, but I think by the end of this video, you're going to agree with me that it is worth the extra effort. So for starters, I do want to say that I do recognize that you are not going to be able to pay cash for everything. And if you want to support small businesses that are not local to you, you are inevitably going to use online payment processors, and that's okay. What I am talking about is in your local, everyday, today business, any place that is an independently owned place. That is a company that isn't run from a boardroom, okay? A company that is small and independent owned will exponentially appreciate you paying with cash. And I'm going to explain to you why. The first reason is that when you pay with credit card, there is a 2 to 5% fee that the credit card processing platform is taking from that purchase, which means the small business is only making 95 to 97% of that purchase, which doesn't seem like a huge loss, but can really add up. It's the reason why you'll often see at gas stations, they won't run your credit card if you don't make at least a $10 purchase. And so that fee is going directly to these big banks, these big payment processing centers that honestly don't need any more money. They've got plenty of it. And it's being taken from those small businesses' pockets. Now, the small businesses could choose to not run credit card as an option, but that would probably prevent people from shopping there. So we all offer it despite the fact that there is a fee associated with it. So when you are spending with cash, that money is going 100% to that small business, and they can decide how to best use it for their business rather than having to dole some of it out to another processing platform. So that's your first reason why I think paying with cash is beneficial. The next reason is that it's going to require you to take up space. Interestingly enough, we do not like taking up space. I can specifically remember the first time I went to the mall on my own, paying with my own cash that I had saved up. I can remember the anxiety that came with collecting change from the cashier, putting it away into my purse, and getting myself out of the way of the next person who's trying to check out. There is a level of anxiety of taking up space that I really want to work through and not be afraid to take up space. So these little moments where I have to take up space and take more time, it's actually forcing me to meet that challenge head on. And I think that's a really positive thing. The other thing is that due to COVID, I think shopping in person has become very isolated. You very much walk into the store, you don't speak to any of the employees at the store, you check out, maybe it's a self-checkout, so you don't even have a cashier. It's all very independent. And shopping didn't used to be that way. You used to talk to the cashier as they were checking out your items. You used to have conversations about the products that were being put into your bag. And so forcing you to engage with the cashier via the exchange of cash is, again, this little way we can connect with one another in a world that is feeling increasingly disconnected. My next reason for paying with cash is that it will inevitably end up with you having change. And change is a wonderful thing because people are going to be asking for it when you are walking on the streets. We are going to experience extreme homelessness as the result of things going up in price, recession, and possibly further loss of work and wages and things of that nature. I am near positive that we are going to see an increase in homelessness, which means there is going to be an increase of people looking for change. And so often when people ask me for change, I have to tell them I don't have any money. I only pay with credit card. And now I have the ability to actually give them some change if they ask me for it. So this is another way that you can help out your community and the people around you. And it's another feel-good moment that you can have through the act of paying with cash. The last reason why I'm going to tell you to pay with cash is one that you are very familiar with, and that is it will make you spend your money differently. When we are paying with credit card, there is a psychological difference between tapping than there is having to go to the bank, withdraw the money from the bank, and then physically hand that cash over to someone. It is a far different experience than just tapping something and never really feeling that money being debited from your account. Paying with cash will force you to reckon with how much money you are spending. And in a time where we are all tightening our budgets, I don't think that's a bad thing. Paying with cash is also going to increase the likelihood that you buy things in person versus online. And I do recognize that that is slightly less convenient. But I think we have lost community in the trade-off for convenience. And I think we need to actively be taking steps towards community, and paying with cash is one of the ways that you can really be helping your community, especially the small, independently owned businesses that are in your own area. Now, again, like I said, I recognize you're not going to be able to shop everything for cash. You're not going to be able to shop every small business with cash. And I am sure a small business would rather you make a purchase with a credit card than no purchase at all. But what I am saying is that whenever possible, it is something that you can do. It is a small act of revolution, a small protest against the big banks, the big corporations, and all the big guys that get out of paying taxes and don't have to contribute back to their communities. It is so much better if you can invest that money back into the small community-owned businesses that are directly impacting the lives of the people around you. So, if you are headed to Little Craft Fest, as I am, I would highly recommend bringing cash. Again, I am sure any business there is going to be a-okay with you paying credit card. We'd rather the purchase than no purchase at all. But I promise you we are going to appreciate the cash purchases that much more, because there is nothing coming out of it going to those credit card processors. It goes straight into our payroll and to our ability to buy new products, into our ability to reinvest into our businesses. And that is what is going to enable us to survive 2025. So I hope this was informative. I'd love to hear how you are shopping these days, if you're planning to try and spend with cash more, or if you don't like this idea, if you think it's horrible, you can sound that off in the comments too. I would love to hear your opinions. Make sure that you like, share, and subscribe so you can get more content like this. You will be seeing a whole lot more of these paint pens, I can promise you that. Until next time, stay light, stay bright, friends.